Hey there, this is Real Talk Baseball. I'm CarloBaseball with me as always. I don't know what happened, but the intro just started, so we'll go ahead and start right there. If you haven't done so, go ahead and hit that like, hit that subscribe. You're coming from TikTok. We would really appreciate it if you go ahead and hit that subscribe button. But I'm right here with my buddy Ernie. How's it going over there, Ernie?
What's going on, Carlos? How you feeling about your Dodgers? Here rocking a Dodger hat from you guys, representing some friends, loyalty embroidery out here in Norwalk, showing up the Dodgers with the Flames. They're on fire right now, man. What can we say? It's a team that was doubted last week as underdogs, and now here we go. They're winning game one and looking kind of strong. Looks like the Mets are in trouble.
Dude, I mean, it's only game one. Like I've told people on TikTok, it's not something where we can be like, oh, take our foot off the pedal. No, you have to keep going. You have to play tomorrow's game. Anaya's pitching tomorrow. We've said that this guy has been on it and he's been pitching really, really good. So it's crazy to me that we think that we're going to be dominating the Mets. I mean, no, let's take it game by game. There's no disrespect to any team. They made it this far. They beat the red hot Phillies, dude, and we thought the Phillies were going to be here, right? And they did what they needed to do. They took care of business, and now they're playing the Dodgers. So this 9-0 doesn't represent anything to me, honestly. Does it represent anything to you so far?
I want to say it does. If you watch how Jack Flaherty pitched today, man, he pitched a master gem out there. He looked like a straight ace. It's a Mets team that has never seen him pitch, and they were kind of shooken, man. They didn't know what to expect. Jack Flaherty was in his best performance today, and that's good to hear for the Dodgers because if you guys know, they are affected by all the injuries on their starting rotation. They didn't really have to touch much of the bullpen today. Yes, it's one game, but you got to give them their props. They're performing at a level the Dodgers were not expecting. And I think they just, after beating the Padres this weekend, man, they did something special.
Dude, okay, so I said it on the TikTok, but I'll say it here. I did say that the Padres and the Dodgers series was crazy. Like, it was just one of those things where if you felt the stress, you felt like, okay, as a Dodger fan, this is kind of be like if you're a Dodger fan and you were looking at the game and you're like, man, you need to the Padres need to go away. The Dodgers need to win. We need to kind of feel like, okay, we can't let the little brother take this one. And more further than that, it's just a statement game as well. Like it was, everybody was going against the Dodgers. Everybody was saying that the Dodgers did not have enough in their bullpen. They didn't have enough in their starting rotation. Their hitting was hot cold. And look at what happened. They got it together. They did a bunch of stuff to get to where they're at now. They game one of the NLCS is over. The Dodgers are up 1-0 against the Mets. And I mean, Max Muncy said it best, like 80% of you MF, doubted us, 80% of MFs, they didn't want us to be here. So there you go. Like, if you haven't seen that clip from Muncy, you guys should go check it out. I just saw it today and it kind of pumped me up, to be honest.
No, man, you're totally right. It was just last week we were doubting if the Dodgers could even win. We had Hudson Scully as a special guest here. He was even feeling kind of shaky, man. We know that the Dodgers had enough to win, but the way the Padres were playing, it was kind of scary, and they were built to win. Now, Game 4 and Game 5 came around, and the Padres offense did not show up, and the Dodgers bullpen, a masterclass as well. A bullpen game in Game 4, and then you got Game 5. Yamamoto pitched lights out. Bullpen came in and saved 6, 7, 8, 9 inning. And, man, the way the Dodgers are performing, today was another perfect example of timely hitting, great pitching, and it's the way the Dodgers do it. And I'm kind of worried for this Mets team. It's a Mets team that had a layoff since Wednesday. They did beat the Phillies, but you got to remind yourself, they're a division rival. They've seen them time and time again. And now you have a Mets team that hasn't really seen Yamamoto, a team that hasn't really seen Flaherty, and the bullpen is just nasty. So good luck to this Mets team. They're going to really need to depend on the Grimace for them to win.
Or that "Oh My God" song that they have going. I remember we said this when that
playing
song,
in New York.
Yeah, when we first heard the song, we are like, sometimes these teams need something like that, or they need that rally monkey, or they need something to pump the team up. So that's their thing, that's their mantra, that's what they're going with, and that's really cool. But look at the stat line today. Lindor went 0 for 3 with 1 walk and 1K. That's un-Lindor like. I mean, we expect this man to step it up a little bit more. And then you have Vientos, he went 0 for 4. You look at Nimmo, he went 0 for 3. You look at Acuna Jr. I mean, Acuna's brothers. He stepped in as a pinch hitter. He didn't do anything as much. Alonso 0 for 3. He walked, of course, but he did strike out as well. So that's one of the weaknesses the Mets have. You look into the bottom lineup, and the only one that got a hit was Winker and Iglesias, dude. So that's a thing that you kind of start looking at, like the trends. And there's this what happened with them on Wednesday, that they won the series and they have to wait till Sunday. The Dodgers went through that, right? Everybody's talking about how they take that rest and they get that bye at the beginning. Well, the Mets is the only wild card team right now that's the next level. You have the Yankees, the Guardians, and the Dodgers that won their divisions and they're top in their leagues. The Mets are the only ones that are in the wild card in number 6. So, I mean, it's gonna be a fun series. I just hope it's a one of those series where we feel like it's not just Dodgers all the way. I mean, yeah, of course, we want it to be that way, of course. But if like if you look at the Mets and their fans, I already have a bunch of people messaging me from the Mets. So it's like, what the hell? They're talking their crap, and that's what it is, dude. So,
No,
do you
definitely.
go for it? Go for it.
Do you think this Mets team has enough to take the Dodger team? That's the main question. I think this Mets team has enough to win 1 or 2 games, but I don't see them winning the series. I feel like their hot run is going to end here, and it's a great story. It's a Mets team that was not supposed to be here, guys. It's a
Yeah.
team that has the highest payroll in the MLB, yet 2 of the most expensive players are not even in their roster right now. It's a team that played great starting in May and June. They had the hottest record. With the Oh
Hmm.
My God song came around, they turned things around. But it's a team that has a bunch of starters that were not doing so great in their careers. You got Severino that came from the Yankees. The Yankees gave up on him. You have Sean Manaea that came from the Giants. Also, they
Hmm.
gave up on him. You
Yeah.
have Jose Quintana that's been in all these different teams, and now he's made a name for himself.
Yeah.
So it's a team that has a lot of good talent, but I just feel like they don't have enough depth to take on the Dodgers. You're talking about a Dodger team that still has better bullpen, still has better offense, and a starting rotation is even better.
Dang. All right, let me go ahead and hit them people up from TikTok. If you haven't done so, you can go ahead and switch over to our YouTube. We are live on YouTube as well. If you haven't hit that like either on TikTok or on here or Instagram, we're live on Facebook everywhere pretty much right now. If you guys want to hit that like and that subscribe, that'll help us out. We do have other shows on here that we do perform. We do have the fantasy show, which it's already been over, but they're doing the baseball playoff right now too. So they get on live on Thursdays. And we have the football show as well. If you're into football, you just call out your name. I did get a holler out from someone here on TikTok to say hello from Albuquerque. How's it going, everybody in Albuquerque? Thanks for listening. That's amazing, dude. We get to see this. Mets winning game 2, Jet. I mean, I talked to him on Saturday. Jet, dude, game 2, it's going to be a different one. We'll see what happens. They play at 1 o'clock tomorrow, West Coast. So West Coast time, meaning East Coast is going to be at 4 p.m. So it's going to be an amazing one. Ernie, you going to the game tomorrow?
It looks like I got an extra ticket or flying around, and I'll be at Dodger Stadium tomorrow, 1 o'clock. We're excited. They haven't announced who's starting for the Dodgers, but more than likely it'll be a bullpen game. And what we've seen from this bullpen this season from the Dodgers, it looks like it has enough to go deep into the postseason. Who would have thought, Carlos? Back
Yeah.
in the days, we used to talk about the postseason. If you didn't have starting rotation, you were not going to win. Today, we're talking about who has the hottest bullpen. Bullpen games are now a theme. There's a way to win. And if you think about all these 4 remaining teams, they all have a great bullpen. Ask the Guardians, ask the Yankees. They all have what it takes to go deep as well with their bullpen. So,
Yeah.
hey, man, this is an exciting year. I feel like we're finally seeing 4 big market teams, except the Guardians maybe. But, hey, they're making some noise, which is exciting. I think all Cleveland wants the Yankees to go out. I mean, I think most of America doesn't want the Yankees to win. And most of America doesn't want the Dodgers to win. And it looks like we're going to have potentially the matchup Dodgers, Yankees, like it's always been in MLB history. And I think it would be the best thing for baseball right now to have 2 big market teams going at it with mega superstars going at it. I think that's the best thing that could happen to MLB.
Since we're talking about Yankees and Guardians, let's get into it, man. The Guardians did win on Saturday. They played a little early. When I saw the score, I was already in the seventh inning, and I got to see the Grand Slam. I did get to see the Grand Slam live. I don't know if I got to see it live. I'm not gonna lie, but I did see that School wasn't pitching anymore, and I'm like, what the hell happened? So it was one of those things where the Tigers, they had the momentum, they had their ace on the mound, they had everything going for them, and it's pretty crazy. Hold on, Ernie. There's a guy here that says, oh, Ben, he says that he's not a Dodger fan, but he hates the Mets. So, he loves Freddie and he wants the Dodgers to win. So good, man. That's really cool. And then I have someone, Michelle said, Dodgers, baby, 100%. I mean, I'm with you on that one. So, yeah, dude, I just feel like maybe the Guardians, can probably pull this one off. I know everybody's pulling for that Yankee Dodgers World Series or the Yankees Mets, right? They're not talking about the Guardians, and the Guardians through the whole season, everybody was talking about him. Everybody was doubting them. They were doubting their starting rotation. They were doubting their the three guys that are there. They're big time. And then they were. I don't think they were ever doubting their bullpen. I'm not going to say that, but I think their bullpen is pretty set. But their starting rotation, they doubted, and their lineup, they doubted. So, do you feel like this is going to be easy for the Yankees?
No, not at all. I think this is going to be. I still see the Yankees coming out on top, but it's definitely going to be a challenge for this Yankee team because
Yeah,
you see that Judge is not having his best postseason yet, and Juan Soto's the only one trying to have to save him protection in the lineup.
yeah,
Now with this bullpen, it's going to be tricky for this Yankee offense to get it together. And you see time and time again the Yankees play great and then play bad. So it's all depends how they start the series. It's going to be important, man. This Guardians team doesn't play around when it comes to their bullpen. Man, you've seen Classic, Gaddis. They got guys that all pitch under 2 ERA, and they're unstoppable, man. Even though Classic gave up a grand slam early in the series with the Tigers, but they have enough offense, man. The Guardians just have to have a better offensive performance to take down the Yankees.
Well, the Yankees are not no slouches either. They just added, or they just got their closer. They already have someone that's going to do that for them. They remember they struggled and try to have someone do it. They have a young kid there, and he's doing pretty good. I just can't. Let me go ahead and get that name for you.
It's
But
Weaver, right?
is it Weaver? I thought it was Weaver. So, or yeah, Weaver. So he's I mean, he's becoming the Yankees closer, and they need that closer role to be defined, because as you remember, especially like in the 2000s, we already have Mariano Rivera for the Yankees coming out and shutting the door all the time against the Red Sox and doing all these things, and they had the leader role there. So Mariano Rivera was that closer, was that leader for the Yankees, and this kid Weaver looks like he has it to become an elite closer for the Yankees. So good for the Yankees. They got someone they needed to go in the end of that bullpen rotation, and that's really good for them. They got a starting rotation where I think they can do good. It's just the Guardians is not going to be something so easy for the Yankees where they can just knock them out of the playoffs and be like, oh, we're done. No, it's not going to happen that way. I think it's just going to be a good series. They've had these series back in the days in 2000s as well. Cleveland hasn't won it since 1948. You think they're not hungry? Hell yeah, they're hungry. They want it just like the Cubs wanted it back in 2016. So with them doing this, I think it's going to be amazing. The Yankees haven't won it since 2009, so it's going to be a good series. We'll get to see it tomorrow, and that game's going to compete against Monday Night Football. What do you think about that?
I think it's great. I think the New York fans would rather see the Yankees than see the stinking Jets. I mean, you ask me, the Yankees are making finally some noise since 2009, and this has probably been the easiest path for them ever since they could think of. Yes, the Guardian team is no slouch, but it's the best opportunity they have. It's a team that has a lot of potential. You got Aaron Judge, man. If he gets on fire, good luck, Guardians. It's over right
Yeah,
off the bat, man. Let's just put it that way. If Aaron Judge just needs to pick it up, and this is his moment. This is his moment to win a World Series. And what better way not to do it against his Guardians team? And, like you said, the Guardians are Cleveland. The city of Cleveland is not really known for winning out there. They always choke in the biggest moments. You've seen it time and time again against the Cubs in 2016. This is the Yankees here, man, and it better because we want to see that Yankee Dodger, right? I think
yeah.
everybody on live right here rather see a Yankee Dodger World Series, if you ask me.
And that's another rivalry that's not even mentioned in October or World Series talk, because when you talk about that rivalry, the Yankees Dodgers, everybody can say, "Oh yeah, it's a rivalry." But if you look at the championships and the World Series, the Dodgers and Yankees have faced each other the most in any other franchise. So this is the elite World Series, and have I experienced a World Series with the Yankees? No. Have you experienced any a World Series with the Yankees?
Not at
I
all,
mean, I
man.
think we're too young for that. So, I mean, I think it needs to happen in our time. And if it happens from here on out, where we get to see Dodgers Yankees in that World Series, that'll be super amazing because everybody's going to be either East or West, and that's going to hit again. That's going to be a rivalry. So, who remembers when Cleveland blew a 3-1 lead? Is that the series or that's the game 7 of the
Well,
2016?
yeah, that's correct. Just to remind everyone, back in 2016, it was the Cubs and Guardians in the World Series. The Guardians had a 3-1 lead and they blew it and let the Cubs win the World Series. And it was an exciting World Series, I think, because a lot of people were actually rooting for the Cubs for that one. You know, you felt bad for Chicago. They hadn't won in over 100 years. Poor fan base, man. That's dedication. If you hate your team right now, just know that if you were a Cubs fan, you had to wait over 100 years to watch them win.
That sucks. That
Now you
sucks. I
put it
do
that
have
way, right?
Yeah, if you
Yeah.
do put it that way, it sucks, man. I have a question from Destiny. If we beat the Padres, we can beat the Yankees. So it's all going to happen once this series is over. We're still in the NLCS. The ALCS haven't even started, and we're already talking about World Series or potential World Series with the Yankees and Dodgers. I mean, it's exciting when you put it that way because it's never been that close to where it's like, all right, we have two teams that are elite. We're going to get to see the elite teams from each respective league, and we're going to get to see them in the World Series. When hasn't happened that way to where we see the best teams going that way? The last time we saw that was 2017 with the Astros and the Dodgers, and we all know what happened there. So it's going to be fun. It's going to be really fun. We can go all the way,
Hey,
Carlos.
let's
Walter, yes, we can go all the way, dude. Hopefully we do, man. Hopefully we do.
let's just remind everyone that the last Dodgers Yankee World Series was since 1981. That's been a
Yeah.
long time, guys. So it's been a World Series in the making, and I think the MLB desperately needs it if it wants to compete against football and basketball. I think that would overmatch any of those other sporting events.
Yeah. Angel, how's it going, man? Thank you for joining the show. Only the Dodgers have Kike. Man, Kike is a beast in the freaking postseason. I mean, he does that postseason crack or something. I don't know what he does. He gets ready for these postseason. And I mean, when he went to Boston, he did it out there as well. I just feel like he needs to be in the lineup all the time. I don't think he needs to sit. I don't think Roberts needs to do that lefty righty matchup. He just needs to be in there for sure.
We got chicks who love baseball. What do you say for those who say if the Dodgers and Yankees is scripted? Oh, I've been seeing a lot of those from fans.
Everybody's been saying that. They've been saying that. Oh, how is it that Joe Davis said on Friday that the Mets were already arriving in LAX tomorrow? And it's like, dude, they have to come to the West Coast. LAX is the biggest airport that can go ahead and take airplanes from anywhere at any time. I mean, that's what happened. If you guys think it's script, I mean, I don't know what to tell you. I don't know what to tell
Let
you.
me put it this way. If it was scripted, why didn't it happen sooner? Why have we
Yeah,
have to wait over 40 years for the Dodgers Yankee World Series?
yeah, yeah. It makes
Right?
no sense. It makes no
It,
sense.
so it's not scripted, guys. We've been waiting over 43 years to see this matchup again, and it's must-watch TV. And if it happens, this is a blessing for all MLB fans. Let's just put it that way.
I do have a fan over here saying Padres all day still. Hey, dude, keep the faith with the Padres. I keep saying that team's going to be a powerhouse next year. This year, they just fell a little short. But yeah, next year it's going to be really cool. Nothing but respect for the Padres. I always respect every team. Ernie, I mean, I know you do too. We talk about these teams all the time, and we start getting to know the players. We start getting to know how they manage the game, like the managers and all this stuff. Personalities. You start understanding why certain players play a certain way, and how they get excited, how they get hype, how they get ready for a game, and it's just amazing to me how when we start doing podcasts or you start talking about baseball, you get deeper into like how a player reacts to certain things, right? So that's pretty
Definitely.
cool, man. If
Definitely.
you guys,
You're
go ahead,
talking about a Padre team that traded away Juan Soto and then lost Blake Snell and lost Josh Hader to free agency, and they still found themselves competing against a Dodger team going to 5 games. Hey man, if you're a Padres fan, you got to be happy with your team. AJ Preller only is going to do better things for your team out there, and is going to
yeah.
make some crazy moves this offseason.
Yeah. Hey, I got a question, and I'll go ahead. Hopefully you can answer that. Do you feel like this is going to be a rivalry, or maybe you felt it? You're thinking about the Red Sox Yankees series, their
Okay.
rivalry. Does
Right.
this match up to it? The Padres and Dodgers. Does this match up to it? The intensity that we felt on this Friday. Did it match up to the Red Sox Yankee rivalry?
Oh, it definitely did, man. It was finally the West Coast rivalry that we really needed out here in baseball for the West Coast. This Padres and Dodgers, we didn't know what to expect going into game 5. It was great for the game of baseball. You had a Yamamoto performance that was spectacular. A guy that got paid big bucks and he delivered. And it's talking about a series that we're going to continuously see year and year in and a year out, because you got the Padres team that's only getting better, and you have a Dodger team that's also is going to be having a lot of players return from injury, and we're not sure what's going to happen in 2025, but it's for sure going to be a rivalry going forward. And with Ohtani being there and the Padres developing a roster like they do, it's going to be always a rivalry here in the West Coast going forward.
Yeah, yeah, I agree. I agree. If you are on TikTok, if you can go to the YouTube and give us the subscribe, that would be really appreciated. I'm trying to see the messages that are going on, but we get to see them on here as YouTube as well. If you guys can go on there and subscribe and help us out, help us to get to a 1K, I would really appreciate it. Thank you guys for all the support. Definitely. We do go on Spotify as well, so I'll just go ahead and mention that once it's recorded, so it's up there. But I agree with you, Ernie. I think this series that happened with the Padres and Dodgers, it kind of revived baseball a little bit. It wasn't just here in the West Coast, but everybody out in the East Coast was rooting for the Padres, was rooting to have the big team, which was the Dodgers, go under. And that's great. That's what a rivalry is. Like you're supposed to go against the best team. It happens in basketball against the Lakers. It happens in football. Everything. Every sport has their giant, and the Dodgers are becoming that giant because all the money they spent this offseason. So I think it is a big rivalry now. And like I said it the shows before, we haven't we haven't met the Giants in the playoffs but once, and we won that series. We've played the Padres 3 in this recent time, and we won 2 out of it. And I expect it to happen even more, because if it happened this year, I think it's going to happen where we meet them in a game 7, best of 7. So if it happens that way, I think it's going to be even more of intensity in those games. Imagine going to Game 7 against the Padres, dude. We went to Game
Dude,
5 already. Going to Game 7, being stressful all of those freaking games is going to be crazy, dude. It's going to
we
be
really
crazy,
needed we really needed 7 games from Padres Dodgers. That would have just made
right?
it more special. Yes, man. We got Neto here saying what a game. Jake saying Jack Flaherty was lights out and offense came to F and play. Officially tied the MLB postseason record for consecutive scoreless innings. Dodgers
Yeah.
in 4. Wow. Okay, he's calling it easy, sweet. We got 33 scoreless. Yeah, man, that's impressive from this Dodgers team. They're pitching lights out right now. It feels like all the team is just, comfortable throwing out there, throwing gas and locating their pitches. Man, it's a beautiful thing to witness.
Yeah, yeah, it is, dude. And like I said, man, it's gonna be exciting to see all this baseball. I'm gonna get to see the Yankees and Guardians tomorrow. They play at 4, I believe, 4 or 5. I can't remember the time, but we're gonna get to see the first game going, and we're gonna see the Mets, of course, tomorrow. It is a 1 p.m. game. If you're out there in the East Coast, you're gonna catch it at 4 p.m. So it's gonna be an early game for us out here in the West Coast. It's gonna be a normal game for you guys in the East Coast, but and why are they playing the 1 p.m. game? Because they have to fly out to the East Coast. If there was something closer where it had to go midpoint, I'm pretty sure they would have played the 5 o'clock game. Because a lot of people I saw in the messages earlier there, they were saying, why is the Dodgers playing the 1 p.m. game? Aren't they supposed to be the top seed? And they are the top seed in all MLB, but you got to also think about the flights, and you have to think about more rest for the top team, which is the Dodgers. So we still haven't even started game 2, and we're already talking about all this stuff. Like, it's like, come on, man.
All
It's just
right.
a lot of
Well,
people complain about it, right? A lot of people
yeah,
complain about it. So I
definitely,
just want to,
definitely.
yeah.
What are your expectations for game 2, though? Like, what are you expecting from this Mets team? Are you think they're going to come back fighting
Dude, so I did see Mania pitch against this last series against the
against the
Phils,
Phillies?
and that new windup that he has is I haven't seen it before, and he was just dominating. The Dodgers do have a bunch of lefties. That's something that does worry me, because I feel like Otani kind of doesn't hit lefties super well. Freddie Freeman's one of the ones that are more solid, but we got to see how his ankle reacts tomorrow. He did run a little bit today. They sat him down, which is good, in the 8th, and he does need to rest it. But it's going to be interesting to see for me, like, because the next pitchers that are coming, you have Severino after, and then you have another lefty. So it's gonna be. It's going to be pretty crazy. Now you want to get into the bullpen. Now you need to get into the bullpen. Not like the Padres where you had to kind of beat the starter and then, the bullpen was kind of lights off for the Padres. Well, now the Mets are a little different. Their starters are their thing for them. So we have to get into the bullpen to try to get those runs. But if we can score early, I think they'll be okay. I think the Dodgers will be okay. But the Mets, talking about the Mets, I think they have to start, not wasting any outs. Today, there was an out at third base because this guy went all the way to Jesse Winker went all the way to third base instead of, staying at second. Or if he was just going to go all the way, run it through. Don't stop and then go back to second because that's a mistake already. When you make a mistake with these good teams, you're not going to get away with it. This is professional baseball. This is not Little League anymore. You're not going to get into that, pickle that we used to get in Little League. Now you're going to get them out. So you cannot do that. You cannot kill a relay like that. So we'll see tomorrow. I think the Mets are not going to go down with a fight. They're going to put up a fight for sure. So
And that running mistake by Winker was crucial because this Mets team gets hot and they know how to come back from being behind. They've done it plenty of times this season. They call themselves the comeback kids. They're always down and they start cheering the "Oh my God!" and they find a way to score and they come back. So that running mistake by Winker was crucial and it really affected their comeback. And I think that's where Mookie got that 3-run double. That was crucial to extend the lead to 9-0. But one thing I didn't understand from the Mets, Carlos Mendoza, was him starting Kodai Senga. I think that was a hard call for me for game one. It's a guy that's been overcoming shoulder injury. And, he's not been his best performance this year. I think he should have probably missed out on the roster spot and given some better arms to someone else. He didn't look great out there, and the Dodgers took advantage, and they ate. And they're about to eat Panda tomorrow for $5, like Neto says. Yes.
Are we? Is that still on there?
It's still on. I just had some yesterday, man. $5, okay. Man.
$5 plate, man. Hey, go get it. I got it once. Ernie told me about it. We went to work, and we got it, and we were like, hell yeah. Got to save some money. So if you guys need to go ahead and get that Panda, go ahead and get it now. So it's amazing, dude. Okay, so let's move on a little bit from today's game. And we're going to talk about tomorrow's game. And tomorrow's game is going to be, Manea already answered, what do you think the Mets need to do to score some runs tomorrow? I mean, we don't even know if Buehler or who's going to be the pitcher for the Dodgers tomorrow. That's one of the things as well.
And we probably won't know till tomorrow morning, like 2 hours before game time. And that's what Roberts does to mess up the lineup, man. But the Mets have to score early, and they have to put pressure on the Dodgers, and they get the fan base out of the game.
Yeah. I mean, you're going to be there. You should go live. Hopefully you go live. We have Instagram. We have Facebook. We have all the social media platforms you can think about. If you guys can hit that like and that follow on there, we would really appreciate it. We want to get to that 1K on YouTube. So if you guys are on TikTok, Instagram, wherever you guys are, go to our link tree. You can go to our YouTube and you can subscribe there and you can ask us questions on there too. We are live on YouTube. We do answer everybody. We're trying to do it on all these platforms. We are live on Instagram as well right now. So it's just amazing. We talk baseball all the time. Right now it's playoff baseball. So you can tell this is our Christmas right now. This is what we do. We did it last year when the Diamondbacks and the Rangers were in the World Series. And it was amazing. It was really amazing. So we have Johnny here. Go Dodgers. We got Rick. Let's go Mets. The better team lost tonight. So, hey man, you got to stay on it. You can't say that you're down and that's it. No, if you're a fan of a team, stay with your team until the end, even beyond that, even next year, even the following year. Because the good thing about baseball is that we're going to have baseball from here on out, and hopefully there's no strikes that ruins that. So that's an amazing thing. All right, let's go ahead, Ernie. Let's get to another, another topic, man.
Yeah. So what is it? What World Series matchup do you want, man?
Me personally.
Well, who do you think is going to win? The National League CS and the American League?
Man, you're putting me on the spot.
Yeah, right, we need to know.
All right, so for baseball and for the game to grow a lot more, who doesn't want the Yankees and Dodgers? And I want to be able to see that. I want to see the Yankees and Dodgers. I do want to see that. I do want the Guardians to win because they haven't won since 1948. But I just want to see that. I haven't seen it in my lifetime, and I think that's what it is. Like a lot of people haven't seen that World Series. Is the World Series that has happened the most in years. So in the whole history of MLB, that's the most World Series that these teams have got together. Who's got it the better? I mean, the Yankees has gotten it, more times than the Dodgers. The Dodgers were the bums back when they were in Brooklyn. So that was their nickname. They called them the bums. So I just want them to, win and go all the way to the World Series against the Yankees. That's the matchup I want. So did I answer
Yeah,
your question?
no, I think you're totally right. I think we totally agree. I'm not sure because we're in the West Coast, but yes, the Dodgers Yankees is like the most easiest answer we could give you right now. But it's the two top teams that have one of the highest payrolls in the MLB, and they've proven time and time again this season that they have what it takes to make it there. So I think we're both going Yankees and Dodgers for these next series. But I think Angel says here it's a must win for the Dodgers tomorrow, and I think he makes a good point here. The Mets do go back to New York and play 3 games in Queens, so it's going to be tough. You don't want to go back losing one of the momentum games here in LA.
Yeah, it's one of those things where you're going to New York and now they have home field advantage if they take that second game tomorrow. You go to New York and they're going to be loud out there. It's a long flight. It's a 5-hour flight to go all the way to the East Coast to the Mets. We don't know what type of weather is how the weather's going to be out there. Might be like in the 60s, 60s, 50s. We don't know. There's a lot of, I don't know if you guys watch football, but there was a lot of football stadiums today reaching the 50s and I believe 60s and 50s. So it's getting colder and all out there in the East Coast. So temperature has a lot to do with it, man. You can have injuries, you can have all these things happen to you when being hot out here when the 70, 80 degrees playing in the field and then going out to a 70, 60, that changes a lot. So, and then that 5-hour flight can mess up your back or can do something, it sucks for these players. They've been doing that all year. They're hitting that finish line, and hopefully we get to see some good baseball, man. So Tony is saying that it is going to be a bullpen game. Are you confirming that for sure, Tony? That it's going to be a bullpen game? Let us know, man. So if you guys know out there, let us know. Yeah.
Yeah, it really looks like it will be a bullpen game given the fact that the Dodgers really didn't use their main core bullpen guys today. They used Daniel Hudson, a guy they really haven't used much this postseason, but it makes it feel like, yeah, it's going to be a bullpen game going forward. So
Yeah.
I totally agree with Tony there.
All right. I think it might be, yeah. Destiny just said it might be. There's more people saying who's pitching tomorrow, and then it might be a bullpen. So once we get it, we'll post it on our social media. We'll put the matchups. So yeah, if you guys have any more questions, go ahead and put them on here. We'll go ahead and answer that. That'll be really amazing. Ernie, the rivalry part, which you kind of changed my mind. What was it, 2 weeks ago? Or yeah, right.
Sounds about
Um,
right.
yeah. So, do you think that the rivalry between the Dodgers and Yankees? I know we haven't got to the World Series yet. Would it be more rivalry that way, or would it be more rivalry with the Cleveland Guardians and whoever shows up from the NL? Because I mean,
See,
remember they haven't won it since '48. They're gonna try to win that as much as possible. They're trying to get that World Series. They're trying to get that monkey out their bat. And since 1948, that's a long ass time, dude. Long ass time. So I mean, what do you think?
so you're saying the what rivalry will be better for the Dodgers or
I mean, would it become a rivalry if the Guardians face whoever the Mets or the Dodgers in the World Series? You don't think it'll be popular?
no, not at all. It wouldn't be as popular, man. And if we do see the Guardians making it, it would be great for them, right? But I think this Dodger or Met team would probably be the more favorite team to win.
Ah, okay,
Just given
gotcha.
that the Guardians are always never talked about. They're kind of quiet, but they do have some special hitters out there. You got Steven Kwan that can slap that ball, man. He gets on base every time. Jose Ramirez, a guy that's been doubted, chose less money to stay in Cleveland, and he's doing special things out there. You got the Naylor brothers, Lane Thomas, who hit that grand slam against the greatest pitcher we have in the American League right now. Yeah, they're doing some special things out there in Cleveland. And it's a team that was not supposed to be making noise with their new manager, Stephen Bolk, but they've clicked together at the right time, and they're making some noise here in October.
Yeah. Let me go ahead and answer this question. Is it hard to hate the Mets? They don't act like San Diego douchebags. So we haven't seen that yet. Once Lindor, if Lindor turns it on and he starts hitting bombs, hopefully he doesn't. But then we start kind of getting a little hatred towards these guys. Remember, I like Lindor because he's a shortstop. I did say in the early podcasts, like years, that he was on the decline. So I take my words back, I guess. He's on the upcline. Like he's going up again. He's playing good baseball. And this is one of the things where Lindor, I feel like he doesn't show any emotion. So it's kind of hard to hate a guy that doesn't show emotion. But you're right. I think the Padres did have a lot of freaking emotion, and that's what we kind of, didn't appreciate from where we are at. I'm an old school guy. I'm like really old school where I don't, like I do appreciate a bat flip here and there, but when you're taunting and when you're doing things like that, it kind of sucks. And that's where I'm at. So hopefully not, man. Hopefully we don't start hating on the Mets like that. But well, we'll see. We'll see. I know their fans are going to be talking crap. I know that for sure. They always do. That's just how it is. That's just how it is. It's the Yankees and the Mets. They're always and the Yankees, Mets, Phillies. What's another one out there that's always talking? I think those are the
Boston.
big three. Boston. There you go. So those are they're always it's the East against West. So that's what it is, man. Dude, this is the first time we're doing all social networks together. Like I appreciate everybody coming on here and hitting that like, hitting those hearts, coming on to YouTube, subscribing. Thank you guys on here on TikTok, Instagram, everywhere that we're at. Like if we haven't answered anything on Instagram, sorry. Like we have the phones and everything going at the same time. I know Ernie has his phone going as well too, so we can answer your questions. So it's a pretty busy night, huh, Ernie?
It really is, man. People are excited for baseball right now. October's been at its best and its peak that we've seen in a long time, man. We had two small market teams make the World Series this year, and it doesn't look like this will be the case this season. So
Yeah,
we're
cool.
excited. I mean, I see the Yankees winning in 5, and I see the Dodgers winning in 5. So I'm ready to dial it up and wait for the next couple weeks, and we're ready for Yankees Dodgers.
It's
Is it too
comforting.
soon? Is it too soon? It's only one game, Ernie. Slow down.
It's only one game, and it's comforting hearing you say stuff like that because I'm a dude. It's just something about me, and I'm pretty sure all you guys already kind of know. I'm really respectful of the game. I respect the game to the fullest because I played it. Not only because I played it, but because I watch it and because I take pride on being a social media baseball guy. So I respect the game so much, and I just can't be so confident to say that the Dodgers are going to win the World Series. The Yankees are going to win the World Series. No, I look at the talent everybody has. I look at how they're playing, how momentum is going, how everything is turning out for the team, and that's where I make my decision. And my decisions are not going to be always right and not always going to be wrong. And even if I go against my own team, and I hate that I go against my own team, but I it's just that it becomes to where I I hate it though. I hate it. I hate that being that way, dude. I hate it. But yeah, that's just the way it is. Respectful, man. Respectful.
Yeah, man. Every team deserves to be in the World Series, but there's different seasons where you see hot teams make some noise. And here we have a Dodger team that spent over $1 billion and have what it takes to make it. You also have a Mets team that's hungry. You have a team like the Guardians that has been closing almost 80 years, and you have a Yankee team with rich history of always winning the World Series, and they really haven't made a lot of noise since turn of the century. So, hey, man, it's an exciting time for baseball. What can we say? We respect the game. We love it here. We don't talk crap about other teams like other fan bases do. We like to watch the game and appreciate it. Yes, some teams are going to be down some years, and there's those decades where they get hot, and I think this is where the Dodgers been. Man, I was watching a Dodger roster from 2004. It was terrible, guys. In the 2000s, that Dodger team was not great. People were handing out Dodger tickets for free. Like, who wants to go to a game? Now these days, these bad boys are costing over $100 a pop. So
To sit in the nosebleeds too, man.
Sit in the nosebleeds.
That's not good, man. That's not good. All right, man. Well, we already gave all our results. There was only one game. That's so much we can say for one game. I mean, it was fun having everybody on here. We really appreciate it. If you haven't hit that like, haven't hit that subscribe, go ahead and help us out. We are gonna have the other show go on Thursday. We have Will and John. They have the same expertise as us. They talk baseball. They give their insights, and it's amazing, man. They do it with us. We have the football channel as well. If you guys are into football, we have it here as well. So we're trying to make this a big network. We're trying to make this something where we can go ahead and give you guys the best I guess Q&A, right? Answers and stuff like that, that interaction. So go ahead, Ernie. You got your last mentions?
Well, I just want to thank everybody for stopping by and hitting that like and subscribe. We really appreciate the love and all the comments from you guys. We want to continue growing this channel and help us get us there to 1,000 subscribers. That's the goal here on YouTube. And, it's just for better and better things to come for you guys.
Definitely, definitely. All right. Well, from all of us here on Real Talk Baseball, that was ErnieOrange, and I'm Carlos Baseball. Real Talk Baseball, signing out.